Wow, look at this. Oh, hey, glad you can make it. Thanks for taking the off-ramp to adventure. If you like old drive-ins and history, you're gonna love this video. Look at what we found. This is the remnant of the Gypsy Theater. You can actually see the ghost writing up on there. From 1947 to 1965, it hosted up to 400 cars a night. This is what it used to look like. Today, it's just a place for storage. We just thought you guys might like to take a peek at it. It's weird. Despite how long it's been around, we couldn't find a lot of history or even pictures of the Gypsy Drive-In. We would love to have toured it inside and out, but had no idea how to find the owners. That's okay, we're not discouraged. We know what we can look at just down the road. We have found ourselves in Bardstown, Kentucky. It is a beautiful day. Wait till you check out what we've got. We're at what's called Museum Row.
The Civil War Museum itself, the lady then in where we got our tickets for the whole museum row, she said we cannot miss the Civil War Museum. We're going to take you there when we get done with the Bardstown Village.
Gotta say, this is incredible, folks. This is an actual village from the early 1800s where they have reenactors a lot of times, but we found out they're not going to do it until August. They don't really have anything scheduled as of right now, but these are actual buildings from like 1802. That's interesting. Take it, that's the old mill. This is incredible. I thought it was a remake, but to know it's actual buildings from that time is awesome. You're literally walking through history here. This evidently was where Native Americans lived. Wait, there's stuff in here. Look at this. Did not expect this. Wow, that is neat. Evidently what they made arrowheads out of, maybe old flint. Not finding a lot of information on what we're seeing. Love this fireplace. And this wood on the floor, you can feel it's really thick. They've got actually like tomahawks, hatchets, sure used for chopping wood. And over here's an actual tom-tom. It's hard to see with this glare. There it is. Is that better? Look at that. An actual tom-tom from that time. Bow and arrow. We've got a ladder to a second floor, and I really want to know what it goes to, but they've got it padlocked, so guess we don't find out today. What's in here? You've been snaking this one out.
So this house really is just representation of the Woodland Indians. They were east of the Mississippi River, and so if you come on in, this is really interesting. I don't know how much you can see here, but it has an example, not an example, I think this is an actual squaw dress from one of the Woodland Indians, and then they also have the chief's jacket. The interesting thing about this group of Indians, the Woodland Indians, is that the land that they had, wherever they lived, they gave it to the mother's side. So once everyone died, it went down to the maternal mom. It was just interesting how they moved their land from, instead of the father's side, which is normal, I think, this one makes sure they transferred everything to the mom.
I don't think that's original. Just, saying. What's really strange is traffic is right there on the other side of the fence, next to that big electrical doohickey. This just brings you back to how it really used to be. Be thankful for electricity. This is where I want to go. A little parched. It's a little hot today. What? Oh, I'm stumbling already. Going in Captain Bean's Tavern. I just assumed that everybody back then had an English accent. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Talk about original. Wow. Okay, this table, I don't think it looks like a veneer, but this table is incredible. Boards, you see the nails. What is it, wormholes in the wood? This is great. And this evidently is where all the action happened. You know, once you hung up your, weapons. I'm assuming this is where the band was when you did your dancing. Of course, back then they didn't dance like that. They probably did the Macarena or something. And you know what this is for? It was Saturday night. You came in, you took a bath. Probably before you had a drink. And again, maybe not. I don't know. These evidently are what you drink out of. Or what is that, tin? Silver? I don't think it would have been tin. This looks like a shot glass. It's so small. Butter dish? What? At a bar? Sorry, pub.
And this is the $1 million shot. So if you think about it, you're here at the tavern, probably one of those are your house. Your family's probably waiting for you to get home, and you got to cross what is not a very flowing stream right now, but one can only guess how many people probably fell in that on the way home after the tavern. I don't know if you can see this. I'm assuming these are buttons they found from people's jackets, pieces of pottery. Hey, that's interesting. There's buckles of people's coats, or let's hope it's not from their pants. That's pretty cool. I saw a sign down here about this tavern. It was moved here from Gus Thompson's farm. The logs are rumored to have been part of the cedar cabin built by David Bard in 1776, which later became the Rowan Farm. This building now houses a non-alcoholic tavern and snack bar.
Bard. Where was it? David Bard? That's where Bardstown came from.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Bardstown.
So Thompson Farm, Rowan Farm are probably here.
Probably.
In Bardstown, and they moved this. Ah.
One thing. Is this, it's not original, right?
No.
Just, sure. What I think is funny about this pub is it has what looks like a church pew. Little more information in case you want to take a screenshot. Hey, we found out these original buildings, but that doesn't mean they were in this original spot. The pub itself was 3 blocks down the road once upon a time. They've got them all together now to make it a little more accessible, I guess, and since the town grew and they didn't want to destroy the old structures, put them in a place where they'd be safe.
Did you see where they tied up their horses?
Where?
Right there.
Oh, the old hitching post right there. This is close for repairs, right?
People must have been pretty short. Nowadays, we're a lot taller.
Either that or you were really tall. Ow, that does hurt.
I think that's for modern day people.
That's, you don't want to, ow. Okay, now we're going to check out Maywood Station, which is not what you think. It looks like a school, but it's really not. And watch your step, seriously. Wow, it's kind of like a mountain. Maywood Station evidently was a place they came to study the Word, and it's open to Ecclesiastes, which I think is kind of interesting if you've ever read Ecclesiastes. And if you haven't, might want to. Just saying. Just where you sit waiting for the sermon, open windows. It's kind of cool in here. We're talking June, but it's really nice weather in here. I could see where you could hear a sermon and not get all hot and sweaty.
What a great view. We have had such great weather today. We are so glad to be here, especially in this little church.
Amen. And again, there are reenactors that are out here making candles and brooms. This is where the candle maker and brooms makers would be. And these rooms are kind of low ceiling. And Vanessa's 5'9" and she's almost at the top. Wow. Little plowing thing and evidently bees. That was a quick view. Don't want to get stung. They had to have had more water flow at one time because it's kind of dammed up, I guess, but still back here, if you look, not a lot of water coming through there. That is a neat bridge. Of course, that's where the water would have flowed down for the mill. I think we spent like $24 to take in all the museums. That includes Bardstown Village. We've got the Civil War Museum, the Ladies Museum, a lot of museums to check out. We're going to try to get to them all today, but we're on kind of a time crunch, so let's see if we can make it. And what every village needs, a cannon. I'm sure it served a purpose at one point. Okay, this one's got my curiosity. The overall house? Is this the overall house everyone went to, or wore overalls to? No? She's already got the story. What's up?
This cabin was built by two brothers overall, John and William. They were under the leadership of George Rogers Clark. If you know anything about Louisville and the falls of the Ohio, you will know more about them. But they followed him into this area during the Revolutionary War.
Looks like a very modern new ladder up to the loft. But look at this loom. That's original. You can tell the reenactors must use this because that can't be from the 1800s, that material, or this. And what do you suppose this was for?
That's an animal trough.
That's inside?
Well, again, a lot of the stuff that are in these buildings just tells the story
okay.
of the Civil War, the Revolutionary War. The interesting part about this building was it wasn't here. This has been reconstructed. People here in Bardstown really love their history, and so they got together and actually moved this from the actual place where it was, reconstructed it completely as it was.
Okay, I wouldn't think they'd have an animal trough inside unless, keeping it from freezing in the winter, but yeah, great history. So much to see in this one area. It's really hard to wonder if you've covered it all, and if you see it all, are you as amazed as you should be? That's the fighting off the wasp on this one. What's this one? An outdoor.
It's all about moonshining.
Fireplace. Moonshine.
Moonshining and bourbon.
Bourbon and moonshine.
Kentucky moonshine. What else? Do you
Kentucky
want to hear about?
moonshine. What? Look at this. These old barrels. We've got a treat in mind for you guys about these kind of barrels. Stay tuned. If you haven't clicked the subscription button yet, you will want to, because we have a very fascinating story on the way. Look at that. It's the old chinking. What?
This is corn,
Corn.
and this is the wheat.
The corn mash. Wheat?
Well,
That
in
goes
order to
into-
make bourbon, although I know nothing about it, it says it takes corn to give the flavor, it takes barley for the fermentation, and it takes wheat and rye for flavoring of the final taste.
No like Nestle's Quick or anything like that?
I don't know, maybe some water.
Nestle's Quick would be better. I guess this would be the old-fashioned version of blows, in case you need some more building materials. Never mind. Interesting little side note, all those buildings that were brought together at Bardstown Village were brought together to give you the representation of an old colonial settlement. That's why they moved so many of those structures to that one place, and again, probably to protect those structures. Thanks for watching. If you like this adventure, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and click all notifications so you know when we make a new video. We'd really appreciate it. And check our playlist to find more of our videos.